The San Antonio Express News. Pirates, again, plying the waves of Falcon Lake. Mexican president rebukes U.S. law at White House, says Arizona immigration law is forcing our people to face discrimination. So his people in America. Can you imagine if we had an American president with 30 million people in Mexico saying, my people, you better do this, telling us what to do in America? And to the point of Hispanic students, that later came out, they were Hispanic, 3 of the 5, can't wear American flags in San Francisco shirts because it's so upsetting to the people that see themselves as Mexican citizens so much, 200 miles from the border, that they become enraged, and all over the country, illegals, every time they have big rallies, pulling down American flags at post offices and police stations and at businesses while the cops sit there sucking their thumbs. So we're going to discuss all of this today. By the way, speaking of the San Antonio Express News, give me a document cam shot of this, please, boys. Texas film incentives mainly are benefiting Austin, Dallas. And this is from last year. This is from 11/28/09, or in November of last year. And it has the head of the Texas Film Commission. This is run by Perry, but the head of the commission itself saying we are funding Machete. Now, we called the film commission, this race war film, last Thursday before we published our article. It was in the Washington Post, Drudge, and other publications. We got 3 million, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 3 million additional readers from that one story. 3 million. Very, very exciting on that. And that's not counting all the thousands of sites that copied our story. And the headline was, Racist Film Machete funded in part with taxpayer funds. The governor's press secretary then called and wrote to us and said, well, it is in the queue to be funded, but we haven't funded it yet. I then pulled up that the way it works is they agree to funding at the beginning after they've seen the script. And then there's a final review. So that's a lie from Rick Perry. And I tell you, it's too bad there isn't a better candidate against him. I wish Medina would have won. But he is a patriot in name only. But it says in this article, Texas film incentives are mainly benefiting Austin, Dallas, and I have other articles that say the same thing. Austin was also the site of the production of the Rodriguez-directed movie Machete. The project was announced shortly after the film incentives were created, and Higgins said the announcement was symbolic for the incentive program. And that's the Huggins, excuse me, is the head of it. Rodriguez's Austin-based production company, Troublemaker Studios, is also filming the movie Predators, a continuation of the series Predator films in Austin. Then we have another one here out of Slackerwood reporting that Machete is being funded by the Film Commission. So caught lying, and we did add the governor's statement in our article that he sent us. And we need to do another article exposing the fact that there's a cover-up. Rodriguez has his free speech to make this film. He has his free speech to make this film. But you can't then use our tax money for it. I mean, can the Klan get some tax money for a movie? I'm totally against that. Make whatever racist crap you want, Ku Klux Klan, but do not take my money to do it. Just like I don't want to pay for abortions with my tax money. Let's go to William Gheen of ALIPAC. I've thrown out some of the issues we're going to discuss. Good to have you here with us, sir.
Hey, Alex, and I want to thank you again for your coverage on that Lindsey Graham situation. After going through a ring of fire on that, coming on your show, I got such a great response from people that understood what had happened there, understood the heat that I took, and understood that, I'm the guy that hit Lindsey Graham, and he backed away from Obama and Napolitano, giving everybody a little bit more time right now. So I really appreciate that, and I also want to thank you for being so on the mark and on the money about this movie, Machete. I know you get a lot of emails and communications like I do, and I know a lot of people are waking up, a lot of people are taking action, a lot of people are very focused. But it also seems to me there's almost like a panic out there. There's so many things that are hitting the public at once now, and there are a lot of, confusion and people, almost like some type of state of panic. And when you look at something like Machete, your job and my job at ALIPAC has been bringing people information that a lot of times they don't want to hear it. They don't want to deal with it. They feel powerless about dealing with it. And looking at Machete, knowing what you know about illegal immigration and the people behind it, and me looking at the trailer, knowing what I know about the inner workings behind it, I saw it, and I told people, I said, look, I see a lot of horrific stuff involving machete massacres, decapitated bodies, gang rapes, mass murder, destruction of nations, and it takes a lot to get it takes a lot these days to get my blood pressure up. But when I saw that trailer, and I knew what it meant, I knew that if that movie is like the trailer was created, as it was, created in the for the release on May 1st with the message to Arizona, I was like, people are going to die over this film. People will die because of this film. And, you know, it was everything I could do to fight the urge to send out a national press release, you know, encouraging all Americans to take all reasonable steps to protect themselves and their families.
Well, let me fill you in. I don't know if you've seen part 2 we did, but after I was contacted by Hispanic members of his crew, I then received the script. And this is directly from his manager's office. His manager didn't give it to me, but it's marked, you know, it's his manager's office copy. It's the official script. It's worse than the trailer. It's worse than the trailer. Have you seen that video?
I've seen the trailer video, but I haven't seen the script. I saw some mention of it, but I apologize with the rush of information.
No, I understand you're busy. Well, let me just fill you in then while we're here.
Okay, great.
The video that's got about 210,000 views right now, I show the script highlighted. It starts with Minutemen killing Hispanics who were then crucified as Christ. Minutemen then murdering Catholic priests, torturing them to death, burning down Catholic churches, which is meant to invoke, you know, good conservative Hispanics to become angry. It shows Minutemen trying to kill Hispanic children. All the white people are racist scum. Attempted assassinations of leaders, and then Machete becomes above Christ and Mary and is worshipped at the end as God, and it turns out he's the hero, Machete Cortez, in the Spy Kids movies, so he's already a kid hero. That was pointed out to me, and I went and watched the films. It's true, so it's a children character. People were watching 10 years ago when the first Spy Kids came out. Now they're adults, so their childhood hero is now killing the evil racist gringo who deserves to die, and it's got race war, battles. I mean, it is incredible.
Well, you know, it's the next step. It's the next encroachment. It's the next level. You know, they're prodding the fat and aging America. They're prodding the people that are sick and fat and aging and confused and, you know, pacified, and they're just saying, here we are, and here we are, and here we are. And after seeing that video, I'm absolutely convinced that that's coming to everybody's door. Eventually, it's coming to and through the door. Now, me, I'm a peaceful political guy who's running out of time here. And the good news, you've already mentioned the good news. The good news is, you know, I've stormed all across the country saying, revolution now, America. You've got to stand up. You got to get involved. And it's not just getting out in the streets with the Tea Parties and just standing in the streets. Everybody has got to do what the people in Utah are trying to do, what some of the people in Pennsylvania and Arizona are trying to do all across this country. Get involved with every single federal and state campaign and election you can right now. I don't care if you've never worked on a campaign before in your life and you don't know what you're doing. Just pick up the phone and start. That's all you've got to do is pick up that phone and start, because we really do have a chance to turn things around here before November. But look at when they're planning on putting that movie out. Like, anytime there's a new movie like that, its date can be moved around. But my understanding is they're targeting September, right before the elections, correct?
Yeah, no, they're saying it's a political message, and it's September 3rd. And look at how she was the runner-up. They now admit she would have won. The judge, a La Reconquista guy for Miss USA, voted against her because she said, I support states' rights. That's how militant these groups are. You're not going to wear an American flag in school, and you're not going to say you're for states' rights, or you're going to pay.
You're going to pay, and the movie Machete sends the message that if we don't get our way politically, you're going to pay all the way. You're going to pay with your lives. You're going to pay with your destruction. You're going to pay in a way that Americans have never paid before, because when you picture something like the movie Machete, 12+ million, and there's also some other books. We even saw a book on this. There's other reinforcing factors. Communications are being sent, not just with this movie, but other channels through books and radio broadcasts, all priming these illegals in our midst for this possible burning of Rome from within.
Stay there, William, because in the script, it says they rise up with their tools of their trade, with their pickaxes. That was written 2 years ago in the script. Now it's a movie. They've completed it. And then you have the woman saying, I'm going to rise up with my pickaxes. I'm going to kill you. This is pre-programming going on everywhere. Stay there. No more Mr. Nice Guy. We're standing up. And what's so evil about the media saying if you're against government health care, you're a racist. If you're against anything Obama does, you're a racist. You can see they use it as a weapon. And when they invoke racism, it actually creates it in the other groups thinking that Whitey is out to get them. when Mexico has some of the most draconian laws in the country against illegal immigrants. No one in the world lets people get to their country, have a kid, and then everybody's legalized. I mean, I talked to my friend, Kevin Booth, and he said all over L.A., even in nice neighborhoods, they're just closing major roads when they wash out and saying no more road. Everything's falling apart. They've announced they're not going to fix the sidewalks. And, you know, Kevin's more what you'd call liberal. And he said to me, he said, my God, it's like a third world country. And all over the nation, everything is folding. They're shutting state parks, national parks. Everything's going bankrupt. And then you've got hundreds of millions of people south of the border saying, this is our country, get out. Don't wear American flags, shut up. And now Rodriguez is going to make a whole string of films creating this cult icon guy. It's just horrible. William Gheen of ALIPAC.